Good afternoon, this is Captain Tinsley with the Salty Quickie, and I'm at the boat. I stayed here last night, but then I went home. So I'm about to show you. You'll be able to get a better look of the damage. It's pretty disturbing. So I think the chain plate situation is not as bad as I was thinking, but I could be wrong. But this right here on this boat lift is what did all the damage. My boat actually damaged this a little bit, and this is this whole boat lift situation is, I guess my insurance has to pay for that. It's sitting cockeyed. It just beat that. So you see how it's bent. So all this right here was just like a razor, just chipped away at the boat. But what I was saying is, it was kind of, it just worked all the screws and the bolts and everything right out. But this chain plate is still in place. And this rigging is fine, and this seems fine, so it just maybe needs, this to be connected. And it was working on this one good when I finally was able to get a fender in between it. It was terrible. And that's the one, you can see this is bent, but it's this that's bent. So but this is fine. So it may be not as bad as I'm thinking. The teak is a mess, of course. And the gel coat is a mess, especially in the back. But you see all this. Now some of this is just, it comes off, but like that. This is where this rail just was torn off. Here's the rail. It's pretty long. See all this? Oh, I'm afraid that's paint from my hull. I must have been sitting right on top of it. Goodness gracious. I'll have to get it out of the water and take a look at it. So in the back there's quite a bit of scratching from that pole, and I think I did all that right there. Let's see. Kind of mangled that. Oh boy. That's the color of the paint on my hull. Something I noticed after I did that video, the wind generator's gone. So I'm having a little charging issue because that really kept me charged up. But all this right here, teak. Look at all of it. So the lines on the port side, the one at the bow broke, the one in the back, but I think the one at midship, I think that one went first and actually slipped off the top. I kept putting it back on, but it slipped off, and then I guess the others broke because all of a sudden we're over here against this. And when you're 100-mile-an-hour winds, there's no fixing that. So we spent 2 hours over there. Let me stop this and get on the boat. I got everything out here just to dry out. think it's pretty dry in there now. Nice sunny day. So we were over here. We finally got the lines on. The bow we couldn't do anything about because that cleat was way underwater and it wasn't smart to get off the boat or anything. Right up there. This was the last one we put on. I was hoping this one wouldn't break. And Scott, he was putting this one on and it was the last one and he couldn't unhook the boat hook because it was way far away. We had to wait till the boat was like, it was like riding a horse. And he was like, okay, now, and it's way over there. Couldn't get it off. The boat jerked back. He let go of the boat hook. It just jerked it out of his hand. So it was a good thing. That was the last line we really needed to put on there. It broke that jib line. I had lines tied all around. I took it off already, but I had a line tied all around this. I had that wrapped. It's a good thing because that boat over there, they have a furling mainsail, but it came right out pretty early on. It's made a hell of a noise. It was part of the unsettling part. It was so loud. It added to the stress. This held, these Velcro straps. Some of this was puffing out, but it held. I took those down pretty early. So I brought these out here to dry. But I think it's pretty dry. I spent the night here last night. This microwave and all this stuff was on the floor after we spent a few hours out here trying to, get the lines on. So after we got these lines on over here, there's no way that we could tighten them to get us off of that. So I finally just said, let's just lay down, because it was like 4 in the morning or something like that. And we had, and laying right there, you could really hear the boom, boom, boom. And so when the eye came, that's when I came out, and we really worked it as the boat was, doing all this number, getting the fenders in there. And then over hours, and it wasn't even till yesterday, I don't know, midday or something, that I finally got the boat centered again. I didn't want to land on top of that finger pier, but I think I did at some point. So it was intense. It was really intense. And I told you the story about Scott parking his truck. It was kind of parallel up there, and I suggested that was not going to work, and this was like a river. The truck seems okay, but as soon as it's possible, he's going to get it professionally washed. He's kind of, hosed it out inside and underneath, but it's working. But so it's funny because I don't know how funny it is, but Barbers Marina has like a hurricane package, and what you can do is I think it's like $2,000, and you can be guaranteed for them to haul you out when a hurricane's coming. And I was thinking, because I knew when I moved over here on the south side of where Canal Road is here in Orange Beach, that it's a risk because the Gulf is right there. That's Perdido Pass. And, Bear Point Marina is on the north side, so it's a little more protected. Although they lost all their docks too. And this is Sportsman's Marina right over here. They lost everything. And we lost all our docks here, but I'm over here where it's concrete, and this metal pier didn't go anywhere, this little finger pier. But I was thinking, I'll just wait till next year. I don't want to spend $2,000. Well, I'm going to be spending more than $2,000 now. So I'm going to be signing up for that. And if there's any kind of named storm, we really didn't think this was going to be anything but a tropical storm here. But you see how those things go. But I will not do that again. It was, I say that, I won't do it again, but then we would have lost the boat. Just like these boats that were in here. You can see behind me, let me turn the camera around. If you can see that, you can see a mast over there, kind of not looking too good, and that power boat. So the sailboat's right behind it, and there's a mast. They were in here, and they broke loose. I think there was someone on the sailboat, I heard. He finally had to abandon ship because, see, that sailboat over there ran into him. So that big sailboat was over here. And I think those two were over here somewhere. I'm new to this marina, so I'm not really sure. But that would have been that's what probably would have happened to my boat. I think this stopped my progress, but it wouldn't have stopped it forever. Once all these lines broke loose, it really felt like we were going to flip. It was scary. It was scary. And this is the pier that Scott jumped down onto. Couldn't see it very well. And he was up to his chest walking on that. The water was up to his chest. Now the water was moving this way, so, and his truck was up there kind of parallel parked, kind of like about where the tires are, the back tires of that truck. But he, I said, well, we were sitting up here, and we had to sit because the wind was blowing 100 miles, and the boat was rocking, and I said, we got a decision to make. We can watch this car float away because it was starting to do that, or you can go. And the water and the wind was going that way, so I said, at least you have that. You're not going to float away. And he's, you know, big, strong fella. And I said, if you do that, go home. I just didn't want him to come back and risk, you know, getting hit by the boat, you know. So he backed it up. And he was going down Canal Road like he was going home, and he's like, I can't do that. So he came back, and I was over here wrestling with this line, trying to get it tighter, and the boat was dry. I was sitting in there because there was, you know, I didn't want to get knocked off the boat. And I had my light, and I heard this yelling, and it wasn't very far, but I could barely hear it because it was so loud out here, and with the storm. And he was yelling, hey, Tinsley. And he said he's glad he came back because he really got a chance to see how bad it was seeing me struggle with that line, and he was glad he came back. He couldn't do that. So then he came through here, and he was standing here, and the boat was a little closer at the time, but it was high. And I said, I don't think you should be right there. And he said, why? And I said, I think this line's questionable. I think it's because I had just put it back on. It kept slipping off the top. And then we got on the boat. Next thing you know, that comes loose, and these two break, and we go boom. So that was kind of a close call. Anyway, so I really appreciate all the messages and everything, and I should have written down all the questions on that last video that y'all were asking. Somebody asked about our house. Our house is good. We just got a new roof. You know, like when the pandemic started, I noticed that there were pieces of shingle flying off in the yard. So I was like, oh my gosh. And we did have one little stain on our ceiling. We got that fixed, but we had it patched. But now, just about a month ago, we got a whole new roof. Thank goodness, because it may have been a problem, you know. So we didn't have any water intrusion. The roof's perfect. No power, but we just saw a guy drive by the house, just at the house, and he said, I thought he was a lawn guy, and we have a big tree in our yard. And I said, hey, can you get this tree out of here? Oh, I'm power. And I think he was an out-of-town guy. It didn't say Baldwin EMC on there. I said, oh, when's it coming on? And he said, EMC said either today or tomorrow. So we were thinking it's going to be a week or so because it's out Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, everywhere. So that would be great because I can't charge anything. You know how, and on the boat I can't. The batteries are really low, so I can't even charge here. I'm scared to because I got I want my bilges to work and everything. But anyway, so we have the big tree down right where Scott's truck would have been parked. My cars were in the garage, but we had our 5 cats, and when we were here, I was starting to really get sad and think of them. They were probably scared to death. I was hoping the house was okay, but the yard's, like it looks like a tree blew up. There's just stuff everywhere. I was working on that a little bit. I got the generator out that I bought right after Ivan, 2004. It was 8,000 watt generator. It's really nice, but we don't have any gas for it. All the gas stations are closed because there's no power. So Scott went up there and he went to somewhere where he found where they were selling some gas, and there were 2 long lines, and he finally got up to the front and they said, I'm sorry, the person right before you was the last person we could serve. We gotta wait for another truck. So nice generator, but it's not gonna work until we have gas, but hopefully the power's gonna be on soon, so it won't matter. I gotta get a new generator because I really rely on that. I like to make sure the fridge is working. This is a first world problem, I know. The fridge is working and the freezer's working, and the bilge pumps for sure. So this morning the Freedom, the inverter that I have, is something Freedom. Anyway, the little digital reader down there that tells me how like if the batteries are 13.1 or 14, I guess those are amps. Well, it went out this morning when I started the engine. I was thinking I would charge the batteries, right? I was trying to make coffee, and that light went out. So I went down in the locker to look at it, and that inverter's not charged. And then I looked at the little the control panel for the solar, and it said that the batteries are like at 10.7. So I'm thinking, I know I have 2 house batteries and 1 engine battery, and the inverter goes to the engine battery. That's why I got to be careful about using the plug that goes there when I'm not running the engine. I guess that battery's low. I don't know. I got to figure it out. I hope the inverter's okay, but I got to get a new one of those. I can't plug in. Power and water here are going to be out for a while. A lot of marinas are down, and I mean, I'd like to go to a marina and plug in, but everybody's going to want that. That's going to be everybody's problem, right? I need someone to do gel coat work. I need someone to do teak work. I've already been in touch with the rigger, and he is stuck in Gulf Breeze in between 2 non-working bridges. So he's going to have plenty of work, but he's stuck, and his wife is stuck somewhere else, his townhouse or something, and where their boat is. So everybody's got these problems, and nobody's going to be doing any work if you have no gas and no power. I mean, how much do we rely on that stuff, right? Anyway, I'm glad my house is okay. I went and checked on my friend Dana's house. She was in Wyoming in an RV, and this happened. That's a long ways away. It's not like they can jump on a plane. They got to drive all the way back. Someone said, oh, but they have an RV to stay in. Their house is flooded. I was like, oh, that's a good way to look at it. I went by there yesterday for her and did a Facebook chat, and showed him the house, and there was like a foot of water in there. There were 3 cars that were there. One of them may be okay. The other 2 are pretty shot. They were flooded really bad. Their boat that was on the trailer there, it's okay. They have another boat at Barber in dry storage. I'm pretty sure that's okay. I haven't really heard about Barber. I was really out of touch here at the boat because, sorry, I keep scratching. Orange Beach, I have Verizon, and I wouldn't even be able to call anybody right now because I have like 1X signal. That's why I was so out of touch here at the boat, because right after the hurricane, I mean, like immediately, I couldn't check social media, I couldn't post a video or anything, so there must be a problem with the tower here. When I go home, it's perfect, no problem. Hopefully they'll fix that. I usually have, 4G in Orange Beach. Ramble. What else? This right here. he was gone. He went somewhere. It looks like there might be a little, I mean, you can see his, looks a little disarray, and his anchor is hanging. That's his van that was here the whole time, and I'm pretty sure it got a little flooded. I was wondering. Oh yeah, I can see now. But these guys, Lord have mercy. My boat did that. There was probably a little bit of storm involved too. But I guess that's it. Here's something interesting. This guy has his dock, trying to point, in his cockpit. You see it? See that? Yeah. Anyway, I don't think I'm going anywhere October 1st. First of all, I need to make sure my mast is not compromised. Of course, I got to fix the rigging and everything. And that teak's breaking my heart. The gel coat. Oof. Yeah. So these boat people here, the boat repair people, people that work on boats, are always booked, and they're hard to schedule in normal times. But there's just boats down everywhere. My friend Mike, shout out to Mike Wack. He lives here. He bought a boat just like mine. Did a total refurbished. It's sunk. So that could be it. That could be us, you know. But hope y'all are doing okay. Send all your questions down here in the comments, and I'll do another video and try to answer them all. Yes, I think somebody asked if I have insurance. I do. Sent them an email today. We'll see what else. Guess that's it. Please, I'm sorry it's so long, just rambling here, but if you have any questions, please put them below in the comments, and I'll get to them, and I'll do them in a video. Hope y'all are doing good. Salty Abandon, out.